Okay, seriously, guys, this whole rest thing with projectors, I should say actually non-energy types, because any non-sacral type in human design is gonna understand what I'm talking about. This is for you. This is for the non-sacrals on the planet. This episode is for you. Oh, welcome everyone to Love and Meaning. I'm your host, Christelle Robinson-Tiedemann, and clearly I'm very excited. Today, we are talking about rest. I am on my 30th layer of my lesson, my lifelong lesson with deconditioning rest. Okay, hopefully my deconditioning process will be over at some point. I don't know. But there are so many layers to me integrating, understanding, for having my brain and my body compute that for me, work is rest and rest is work. Did I say that right? My work is in my rested state. And my non-rested state is my play. Yeah. This is it. This is it. So like these moments here, me pressing record, pressing play, I'm playing. This is play. All of this, how all of this is actually possible, like when it's juicy and good and delicious and I feel it all over my whole body, I get all tingly about it. It came from a rested state. So why do I fight it so much? So much. One of my core wounds that shows up for me over and over again is and I think this has to do with my defined spleen and I think multiple aspects of my chart. But my body really communicates with me through like illness. So it'll be like I'll get a cold. Like if I'm really called to like shut it down, get quiet, go, connect with myself, I'll like get some sort of ailment. And it happens less often than it used to because I used to have chronic pain. That is one of my first healing journeys. I healed myself of pretty severe chronic pain. And now I have more just like flare-ups here and there. But I lived my life at 10 out of 10 pain for multiple years and acted like that was normal. You know, that's how extreme my body had to get to like get me to listen. And I'm still learning this lesson over and over again. So what the freaking heck, Christelle? What is it? What is it? Why is it? Am I so conditioned in this way? I think also I have a defined root. So I have an interesting type of projector. We're called motorized projectors. Because projectors have inconsistent energy, right? Sorry. All non-sacral types have inconsistent energy. So that is a projector, reflector, and a manifestor. We have inconsistent energy. The way that it manifests in manifestors is more spurts of on, periods of off. Spurts of on, periods of off. Reflectors, it can vary. It depends on where they are in the cycle, kind of like in the lunar cycle, where they are in their environment, who they're with. Like reflectors are absorbing energy at all times. So it depends. It depends on the transits. There's so much that's going on. So varies a lot. And for projectors, it's in basically like we do best in a mostly rested state, to be quite honest. We have these more like little, spurts of energy. They say that projectors do well at working a maximum of 4 hours a day. And this is definitely my truth I've seen. But again, you can't really look at another person and think that you get it. Like looking at that other projector and be like, well, they're working there. You don't know that. Because to me, again, this is fun. This is play. So it's not the same thing. But obviously I couldn't do it all day. Maybe I could. I don't know. Like when I'm in the zone, I'm in the zone, baby. But in general, like magic happens for me when I am chilled out in my body and quiet. And that is it is unnatural to me in so many freaking ways to get quiet. And there's multiple reasons for this. My first reason from a very young age was ADHD. So like just constantly talking. I have a defined throat. Um, I'm a very friendly person. I have a 4-6 profile. I'm extroverted. Um, so I love fun activities. I'm always, I used to always be out with friends. Now I like a lot more alone time. But there's a side of me that really like, enjoys company and stuff like that. Um, so these are the ways that I've understood where I'm like, okay, you're really kind of opposed to settling down and being quiet. Um, but one that I'm becoming more and more privy to, and it's a little bit sneakier, is consuming content. And because the content that I'm consuming is always like personal development, mentorship work, coaching work, like I'm reading something, I'm listening to an audiobook, I'm listening to a podcast, I'm listening to a YouTube. It's all learning things that I'm interested in. And it's all like, these are, quality good things to me. These are quality things to me, things that I do value. It's not just a bunch of nonsense content, just like, that doesn't mean anything to me. It's meaningful. But I can at times overconsume, just constantly have something in my ears. Like my husband makes fun of me and calls me earbuds, you know? I can just be constantly sometimes I'm re-listening to the same recording, like one of my coaching calls. I'll be like re-listening to it over and over again. But I'm avoiding something when I'm doing that. I've come to realize that there is an avoidance in it. It makes me feel like I'm plugged into a motor. And I think that part of me that is so deeply conditioned to not move towards rest wants to plug into something for energy. And so I plug in and I convince myself that it's okay because it's good information. It's like good stuff. No, I need to be quiet. Just literally nothing. For me, it works well to be nothing, just in quiet. Or something else that's really nice is like the sound of nature. So if I'm sitting in the backyard, like having the birds chirping and the wind, or if I'm, by an ocean, like those sounds, those are soothing to me. But just sitting in my own energy. I also have a lot of open centers. So all this time I'm absorbing things, right? Just sitting in quiet in my own energy. As soon as I finally can snap myself out of it and be like, unplug, my whole body is like, oh, and I swear to God, I feel my crown chakra open. And it's just like, oh, like downloaded information, connections, the way that my mind works is quite esoteric. It's quite abstract. Like I kind of have this nature about me, and it's related to like very much my purpose and my design. I have this way that I see connections between everything. Like I'm constantly like zooming out, zooming out, zooming out, zooming out, zooming out, zooming out. So I'm like connecting like this conversation I had with this person to like some universal theme at all times. Like it's always happening to me. But sometimes it can be challenging because it's like piecemeal. It's like this piece is like, oh, I'll think like, oh my gosh, that, and then it connects to that. It's like having random pieces of a puzzle, but they don't go together yet. And I'll find myself, if I'm not being conscious, wanting to force the pieces together. And then that's not me in my natural state. It's not meant to be forced together. It will put itself together. I am meant to just let it expand and let the pieces drop in. And then when it wants to form, it will form. But with this pressure that I'll put in myself, I will try to plug in the pieces from different things. And that is when I'm actually not in my rested state. That is me in my conditioning. It's not actually tapping into my power. It's not tapping into my power. So lately, I've been really trying to catch myself and focus and give myself the space and the breaks and the rest and the quiet that I need as much as possible. I still work a full time job. So obviously, this isn't happening all throughout the day, but this idea that as soon as I'm off, that I need to be plugged in to make up for lost time. Oh my gosh, how I am seeing the wisdom of this detachment from time. Like it is so real. What I'm noticing is that I can actually get far more in like 30 minutes of detached time than like 6 hours of being plugged in. But my brain keeps telling me that those 6 hours of me plugged in is more productive. It has not been the experience, my experience. It's not true. It is not true. And I'm seeing now that I'm fully committed to my heart and soul into my business, into this podcast, into building a beautiful space for personal growth and spirituality for myself and for other people. I really value how I'm able to spend my time and what the outcome is. Like I'm it matters to me obviously what I can do with the amount of time that I have outside of work. And the opposite of everything that I thought was the truth about time is all showing up for me. I finally freaking get everything that all of these different teachings, all of quantum teachings have been saying about time being nonlinear. It is truly nonlinear. And for us non-sacral types, I feel like this is more true than ever because it's so important for us really to understand this because our energy is inconsistent. So this idea that we're making up for lost time, like when we do have energy that we have to like get it in while we can, it is not going to work. It's not true. And we have nothing to worry about. We have nothing to worry about. Last weekend, I spent pretty much the entire weekend sitting out on a lawn chair in the backyard in the sun, just listening to birds chirp. It was one of the most productive weekends I have had in the past 6 months. And I'm feeling unwell. I have been under the weather for about 3 weeks. And when it happened last weekend, I was like, shucks, again, you knew this, Christelle. You know this. Why have you not been like, why have you not taken the time to just relax? You know this. It's like every single time I do it, I re remember the fact that, oh, yeah, That's actually like my easiest access to productivity, like doing nothing. It seems counterintuitive, but I promise you, I swear. And to those of you that know this already, I want to hear from you. Like, tell me your thoughts on this. But I promise you, it is so true. I brainstorm. So I'm in the process of working with my coach on creating my offers. And I was able to create so much more of the model of what I'm working on, of what I'm coming to in that one weekend sitting outside. I also am splenic. My authority is a splenic authority, which is very intuitive. I just kind of have these knowings. But the thing is, when I go, 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 go all the time, it is so easy to miss those nudges, to not hear the intuitive hit. For those of us that are splenic, it's quiet. The voice is quiet. And when I'm just like plugged into something else, I'm hearing that. I'm not hearing me. We actually have to create the space to hear it. I'm enthused about this right now because like I know this, and I'm telling you, I still struggle with allowing myself to do it. So I'm saying this because let's do it together. I love accountability. Let's do this together. All of my non-sacrals out there, I am beginning the rest challenge. Like enough is enough. Enough is enough. Like, let's just do the test. I want you to just do the test. Just do it for a week. So, what I've been doing is actually putting into my calendar extra meditative time and contemplation time. So, contemplation is when I just sit not with an objective of what I'm thinking about, like problem solve this. No, but just to allow my mind to play with, wander. I can contemplate with another person. You know, I have a lot of wonderful people in my life who have such beautiful, rich, and philosophical minds. So I don't even have to do this alone, but I do it alone too. Journaling to me is huge. Like something really flows out of me when I use my hand because I also have an open head. My head center is also open, so I can really go on 50 million different tangents. So I find that when I'm writing, I really see a pathway emerge without getting pulled too far in any direction that one stream cannot complete. So I put them into my calendar. Choose whatever works for you. Okay. Like you don't have to do it. Like I have like 4 meditative breaks. You don't have to do that many. And right now, 2 contemplative dates. And I'm actually slots. 4 meditative slots and 2 contemplative slots in each day. These are just short periods of time. And I'm compounding them with like spaces where it works in my schedule. Okay. So just pick what works for you. But I just want us to step into this challenge and see what happens in one week. And I am going to do a secondary episode where I'm following up with you on the results of the experiment. Okay. Let's do this here. Let's do should we do 2 weeks or 1 week? Let's do 2 weeks. Let's do 2 weeks. Okay. I think that, yeah, I think that's a great amount of time to really see the shift already. And then if that's like so freaking awesome, we'll extend it and we'll like do a month after that. Okay. But this is a call to all the non-sacrals to lean into the rest. Manifestors, I know that when you are in, your spurt of creativity, this is not the time, but lean into your rest periods, which tend to be even longer. Reflectors, you're going to follow your energy. And it's the same thing for a projector. You are going to follow that energy. You're going to follow that inspiration inside of you. And right now, I have been feeling called to a deeply rested state because I haven't been feeling well. And I'm telling you, for the first almost 2 weeks, I fought it the whole time, even though I've been here before. And it's only been in the past week and a bit that I surrendered and stopped fighting it. And it was like, this is not a bad thing. And I think this is why my body continues to have to remind me so often because it's just such a sticky one for me. Clearly, I'm just really stubborn with this. Like this is my conditioning is really thick when it comes to this. And I think we don't know what my parents' design is because neither of them know what their time of birth is. My sibling is a manifesting generator. I believe just by like knowing them that I'm surrounded by generators and manifesting generators. So I I'm pretty sure I know where my conditioning has come from. And I've always felt like I was underproducing around them, you know? My mom is closer to me. I'm not sure if maybe she is also a projector, but just also like deeply conditioned. I'm not sure, but definitely 2 out of 4 generator types. And it's really a lot of work for me to like to dig in and just be like, no, this is my way and it's perfect and it's beautiful and the results are always magnificent for me. Like I love what comes through from my rested state. It is, I feel like all the other times I'm plugging in, it's like plugging into, I don't know, like whatever a regular socket is. And then the rest is like plugging in supercharged, like the socket that you need, I don't know, for like 3 Dyson hair dryers. That's what it is. Like I want to plug into like Dyson power. And that is our rest. That is our rest. If you have a similar experience, I want to hear from you. I am committed to, I want to get to a place where this is my norm. And when I fall, and there are periods where I fall off and I'm doing too much. I want to switch it like from my norm being that I'm pushing myself rather than leaning into the rest. I'm committed to really focusing on this conditioning aspect for me with my human design experiment. For anyone who doesn't even understand human design, by the things that I just described to you, you'll know if that's you. Try it. If you suspect, that's the other thing. If there's a part of you that kind of intuits or kind of feels a niggling that this this sounds like I'm supposed to try it. This is for me. I want you to go with it and trust that nudge and just try it and see what happens. And when I say unplug, I mean genuinely unplug. I don't mean watching Netflix. Okay. I mean being in quiet, taking out a notebook, simply writing unscripted, like just start writing and see what comes out. I mean, sitting in a park, um, oh my God, mountains, that's a huge one for me. I don't currently live in a place where I am in close proximity to a mountain, but whenever I've been, oh my gosh, I know that is my magic spot, like for locations. So, by the ocean, like let nature be the soundtrack or just quiet or increase your meditation time or amounts throughout the day. Lean into that rest. Get good sleep. All right. This is my challenge for us. We can do it. We no longer need to operate as generators. This is why it is so beautiful how popular human design is becoming because people are really starting to catch on and learn and embrace the fact that we are individual and we're not all meant to operate in the same way. My power truly lies in allowing myself to rest, to charge up. I need to be charged up, you know, and unplugging is the only way to that. So let's do this. For those of you that have been intrigued into human design and you don't know anything about it and you're interested in a reading, my information is in the show notes. I offer mini readings and full human design readings. So get a one-to-one reading if you want to know what your energy type is, and I can give you an even more in-depth kind of like prescription for how to get started for you living by design. But in the meantime, and you can go to my Goddess of Practicality Instagram page, and there's fun information on there too if you want to get started that way. Just let's try this out together, okay? Let's do our experiment together. I believe in us. I know we can do this. Help me out. It'll just be fun to not do it alone, but I'm committed, guys. Like, this is it. Enough. I want this to be the last time that I'm announcing, like, I forgot again that my power is in rest. It is official. Did you hear me? Do you hear me, universe? I'm declaring it. I am declaring it. It has been declared. All right. I love you all. I will see you in the next one.